The ruling BJP-led Mahayuti alliance is poised to retain power in Maharashtra, with the latest election commission figures showing the alliance leading in 204 of the 288 assembly seats. The opposition Mahavikas Aghadi is trailing, with candidates leading in just 47 seats. Well, the big question on everyone's mind is who is going to be the next chief minister of Maharashtra. Meanwhile, what are the viable options that will be opened up to Devendra Fadnavis after this thumping victory is what we're going to discuss. But before that, before I take questions of my guests, I'm going to go across the big screen and try, in fact, present to you some permutations and combinations that could be, in fact, implemented going forward. In all probability, it will all be the same. But of course, understanding why it will be the same is also important. Who will be the next chief minister? Option one, of course, is the tried and tested, the very reliable and loyal Eknath Shinde. Of course, the argument that stands in his favor is he's got an historic mandate in support of the existing government. No transition required and works on existing schemes can continue. So there will be no hiccups in terms of the progress that has been made in the last few years. Option number two is, of course, the Deputy Chief Minister currently of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, a known statesman, somebody who understands the nooks and the crannies when it comes to Maharashtra. He's got the mandate for the single largest party with the support of 130 MLAs, just shy of about 14 seats, to in fact have that entire mandate for the BJP itself. Option number three, of course, there is Ajit Pawar. Least seats in the three partners, allies not reliant on him. But of course, Ajit Pawar has done a few salvos in the past as well, including a salvo that he did with his uncle, that perhaps do not hold him in good stead when it comes to being the number one contender for the chief minister's position in Maharashtra. So, well, what next for Devendra Fadnavis? Is he going to come back as the chief minister? Is he also going to be rewarded for the good work that he has done with the RSS when it comes to this historical mandate for the Bharatiya Janata Party, which has given them, of course, a very enviable position? Option number two, will he return as the deputy chief minister? That means status quo will prevail, or he in fact will be elevated to the position of the chief minister. Well, option three is he can also return as a union minister and completely be out of the fold, and somebody else takes the position of the deputy chief minister of Maharashtra. So all these are options that can be exercised, and of course he can also be given a senior position in the party high command. He's proved himself. He's once again shown that the Bharatiya Janata Party can continue the good work in Maharashtra and retain power, and that's exactly why Devendra Fadnavis should be rewarded, and why not? All right, we'll talk about this and of course other aspects which need to be discussed when it comes to the Maharashtra elections with our guest. Joining us on the show is Mr. Mukesh Tyagi, BJP spokesperson. Saral Patel, Congress spokesperson, joins us on the broadcast as well. Dr. S.K. Datta, political analyst, with us on the show as well. Priya Sehgal, editorial director of NewsX, with us on the program. Mr. Sandeep Chandra, senior political commentator and analyst, also joins us on the program as well. Saral, I'll begin with you. Well, first up, I'm going to look at the glass being half full here. Congratulations for Jharkhand. But, condolences for what's happened in Maharashtra. What does this mean for the party? It was Haryana a few weeks ago. Now, of course, another dismal performance by your party in Maharashtra as well. In fact, this is being hailed as the worst performance by the Congress party in the state of Maharashtra. A state, which was under your thumb, which was under your belt in the past as well. What is going to be discussed when you're going to go back to the drawing board? Because the biggest takeaway for the Bharatiya Janata Party here would be that the Modi mantra, the brand Modi, factor still prevails, and it perhaps will have ripple effects in the next Lok Sabha elections as well. Your takeaways, Saran?
So broadly, I think first of all, I congratulate my co-panelists from the BJP for their victory in Maharashtra. They have outperformed quite substantially, which no one was hoping for. But at the same time, I would like to point out the misuse and malpractices they undertook. They misused every possible institution that they could. as you said, that Prime Minister Modi's mantra has worked. I do not quite think so, because Prime Minister in his own campaign 6 months ago in Lok Sabha, his magic did not work in the Maharashtra Lok Sabha as well. But now it has changed, and it was quite visible that RSS kicked in and jumped in, and Mr. Prime Minister was not campaigning as forcefully as he has done in past in the Maharashtra. So I think keeping Prime Minister away from the campaign quite helped the BJP. The same was done in Haryana also. That is what helped them. So I think they realize that Prime Minister's popularity is deepening. That's why they are keeping him at arm's length. Number one. Number two, when we will contemplate and introspect on the results that have come about today, we'll also analyze that what went wrong, and the large-heartedness that the Congress party showed
What
by
do you
giving
think?
more
What do you
seats
think?
to
What do you think went
Ma-
wrong, Saral? What do you think wrong in your
I'm
personal
coming to
capacity?
that. I'm coming to that. That large number of seats that we gave to our allies in Maharashtra by showing large-heartedness, that also doesn't seem to have worked. So obviously, it will be a collective introspection we will undertake with all our allies and alliance partners, and what worked on the ground, whether our promises which worked amongst people during Lok Sabha, maybe they failed to attract them again in the Vidhan Sabha, and so on and so forth. So all these issues will be discussed amongst the allies, and then we'll move forward from there.
Dr. Datta, what's your stance on what's happened today? In a definitive way, the Bharatiya Janata Party has asserted its ideology, its image, its intention, and also reasserted the fact that the opposition perhaps needs to try harder, much harder than just come up with press conferences which have to do something with Adani when it comes to winning the hearts of people, the diverse set of people in our country, including, the people of Maharashtra.
See, first and foremost, I would congratulate the Mahayuti led by Bharatiya Janata Party for this landslide victory. It is a tsunami, actually. And I think this kind of landslide victory, BJP Shiv Sena in the past also could not achieve the way the tide has flown this time. There are many reasons behind it. First and foremost, the Mahagadi, right from the day one, it was a very, very abnormal alliance. On one side, we have Uddhav Thackeray, who proclaimed himself to be the mascot of the legacy of Balasaheb Thackeray, who was, of course, a great, great Hindutva icon. And on the other side, we had Sharad Pawar's party and Congress party, which generally always focused on minority appeasement and minority politics. That's one. And then the 2 years of the government in Maharashtra of the Agadi Sarkar. I mean, the performance was very, very lackluster. Most of the developmental projects were stalled. Most of them were, kept in back burner, and things were not working at the ground level. Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, when he was the chief minister, he did not visit the Mantralaya in his 2 years tenure, not more than 2 to 3 times. It's only 3 times that he had visited the CM office. And Matosri had become completely a touch me not for general public. Out here, the present chief minister, Shinde, his doors were open for the general public right from the morning till the evening, and everyone had the right to enter into the CM house and the CM office even without a prior appointment. And the CM Shinde was extremely approachable. Together with that, Devendra Fadnavis, when he was the chief minister, his track record was also super good. So people in Maharashtra, they judged all these factors. Together with that, Lok Sabha election was an aberration. The khatakat scheme of Shriman Rahulji, people got temporarily allured by it, and they fell prey to it, you know. But every time you cannot fool the people around every time with announcements and with promises which you cannot deliver. You had promised so much in Himachal Pradesh, none of the promises you could fulfill, so much so that the High Court has asked the mortgage and the selling of the Himachal Bhavan in Delhi. So this is the kind of track record of the promises of the Congress government in different corners of the country. In Telangana, they haven't fulfilled single promises which they kept and which they had assured to the people, neither in Karnataka. So like people had the chance and the golden opportunity of equating the guarantee of Prime Minister Modi and the guarantee of Rahul Gandhi, and the guarantee of Rahul Gandhi has completely fallen flat. Second is like whether the popularity of the Prime Minister has gone down or not. I think Congress should be more, it should be more holistic in introspecting as to when will Rahul Gandhi emerge as a pan-Indian leader, instead of poking its nose on whether the graph of the PM has fallen down or it has gone up. The popularity of the Indian Prime Minister is not only at its zenith, at its highest level in the national level, but the popularity was seen also in the G20 summit recently, which was held in Brazil. So Congress need not worry about the popularity of the Honorable Prime Minister. I would say that this is a fantastic mandate with a complete thumbs up given by the electorate of Maharashtra for the double engine Sarkar, for the Mahayuti Sarkar led by Shinde, and also the fantastic work which has been done by the Honorable Prime Minister in the last 10 years. It is also a mandate to that, and it's a reflection of that. And why I say it's a reflection of that, because Haryana was a recent case in which the BJP government came to power for the third time, and it's a 15 years rule now. And Maharashtra, the government has been repeated. And this has happened because people across India are generally highly satisfied with the performance of the NDA government at the center.
All right. Okay. On that note, Mr. Tyagi, but why was there a different trend in Maharashtra when it came to the Lok Sabha elections and the assembly elections, which we see today? Do you think that this obviously was something that the BJP worked upon after the Lok Sabha election results came out, and that's exactly why the Congress lost, because they did not get cues, they did not get hints, they did not put their finger on the pulse of the problem, and their attacks were more or less limited to Adani, Ambani and Prime Minister Modi?
Good evening to you. Actually, if you see, you have to do holistic analysis the way Congress party is decimated. They got 99 in Lok Sabha election. They started thinking they have won the election. And that kind of arrogance and self-confidence was reflective in their general dynamics in the elections across India, whether it was Haryana or it's a Maharashtra or anywhere in the country. So that particular, and secondly, sticking to the tutelage of Rahul Gandhi was, I think, one of the biggest blunders, because he was the one who was giving the direction, which direction the party should settle down. His entire sloganeering boomerang. I mean, he could not build up the edifice which could challenge the supremacy and the political might of Mr. Modi. It was not at all fractionally even close to the power what Mr. Modi was transmitting. They came out with the Rafale, Chaukidar Chor hai. Mr. Modi won election. This is the third time he won the election. I mean, he won 240 seats, it's not, which is equivalent to the entire opposition, more than entire opposition. This time again in Maharashtra, the Mahayuti has won more than two-thirds. So, I mean, obviously, BJP realized after the Haryana parliamentary debacle, also parliamentary debacle in Maharashtra, that we need to put our organization and empower the organization. So now you will see as a result that more ladies have voted in this election. There is a overwhelming participation by the Maharashtrian people. So what happened was there was a dip of almost 1.6% in the last election, in parliament election, that resulted into some loss of BJP seats. If you see that, Vinny, 37 assembly seats, the difference was only 10,000 votes. In 18, there was a less than 5,000 seats. 19 assembly seats, there was a difference of 1,000 to 500. There was a one particular community which concentrated completely and changed the landscape of parliamentary election, which was a Muslim voted in one assembly segment, and it created the skewed outcome. So actually, in Lok Sabha also, it was a lesser voter turnout. Secondly, it was not a big margin, and obviously, I think our workers were taking it for granted, and that complacency factor. But we, our undercurrents were very strong. You see, one message has gone very clear that if you want to bring Jati card, which Rahul Gandhi was trying to build up, that he is the leader of all the Jatis, and that was his plan. Constitution, there was nothing. On the contrary, he was abusing Constitution of India in the overseas territory. So he did not have any concrete issue. He got partial reward in parliamentary election that he has become perhaps the leaders of all the caste and communities. Coming to the point, he could not. He could not encash it. But Mr. Modi's एक है तो safe है. Mr. Yogi Adityanath, बटेंगे तो कटेंगे. Look at the philosophy. Actually, a lot of people have misinterpreted. Like Sajjan Nomani, who is trying to polarize that he said Muslims ये करो वो करो, मतलब मुस्लिम्स की यूनिटी पे काम कर रहे थे, किस प्रकार की मिसोजिनिस्टिक कमेंट्स ही gave. So there was number of narratives which were coming in, but I think Mr. Modi, सबका साथ है, सबका विकास है और सबका प्रयास है. I think he was trying to say all the nationalist Muslims, they should also unite with the country. They should not have it separate. He was not communal at all. On the contrary, he was trying to build national narrative across the cross section of all the caste, including Muslims, Christians, Sikh, and everybody. So Mr. Modi's view that you're living in India, you need to get united. Don't fall into this petty and narrow politics of all these clergies and all these AMIM. They are the ones who are commercializing on your division with Hindus. So his narrative was, if you see the philosophical analysis, it was not communal at all. It was on the contrary consolidation of all the nationalistic forces. Also, people who were trying to play the sectarian politics on the caste, he was also trying to say this sectarian politics will not feed your stomach. You need to rise above that. And I think that has been established. That narrative has gone very well with the people, which he started even in Uttar Pradesh also. So he decimated this caste equation, which was Akhilesh Yadav was thriving upon caste narrative. Rahul Gandhi was saying, Rahul Gandhi, people have understood that Rahul Gandhi tells lie through his teeth.
All right, I'll
finish. He did not implement his father did not implement the Mandal Commission report. So Karnataka, they could not implement any Jati Jangarna. They were on the contrary working on the appeasement politics. He mazhab ke base pe reservation kar diya. Muslim ko reservation kar do. Did he ever speak there should be Jati Jangarna on the Muslim side? He never. So I think he's taking people for granted. And I think Mr. Rahul Gandhi's leadership and his tutelage, I think is completely decimated, including Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray, Sanjay Raut. Now his spelling should be Sanjay Raut. He has been routed, and I think Fadnavis and Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar have done extraordinary job.
All right.
Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi.
Let me rope in Priya Sehgal into this conversation as well. Priya, your impressions of what has happened today. Let me also give you a trivia that 70% of Indians today are represented by states which are governed by the Bharatiya Janata Party. And that's very impressive. There was a time in the middle a couple of years ago when that in fact rate was down for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Congress did have a few states under their kitty, but that seems to be slipping away now. It was Haryana and now it's Maharashtra. There were good chances that the Congress Party could have done more to come back to power in Maharashtra. This is by far, Priya, the worst defeat that they have tasted in the state of Maharashtra. What would you attribute, this lackadaisical performance to?
Well, there's one overarching message which is coming out, we need, especially from Maharashtra, is this battle of disruptors versus inheritors. If you take Eknath Shinde versus Uddhav Thackeray or Ajit Pawar versus Sharad Pawar, in both these cases, the disruptors have won. They've taken over the chain of command, the inheritors, the studied chain of command where leadership is handed over on a platter, but they've shown gumption, they've stolen the party away in both the cases, and they're not the dynastic heir apparents. Even Ajit Pawar, to that extent, was not really the chosen one. They have shown that it's actually what works on the ground level leadership, and the voters have rewarded this kind of leadership. They don't want the same old business. They want new disruptors, people who work against the matrix, come up with new ideas. Those are the people who are getting rewarded on the ground. The second messaging is, of course, of the welfare schemes. We saw Ladli Behna version of it in Madhya Pradesh. We've seen the version of it over here also. So there is a strong sentiment for welfare schemes, which works at odds with the message of reforms. But that is what is working on the ground. Also, how the BJP is going to deliver on the screen with the kind of debt Maharashtra is under is again something they'll have to figure out. But they have the central government supporting them. That double engine sarkar is going to be working and trying to figure it out, I guess. So that is the second message that has come out. The third message really is, in terms of who gets the credit for this? And that's where, governance and Eknath Shinde, pro-incumbent governments are being voted. It's a pro-incumbency, whether it is in Jharkhand or whether it is over here in Maharashtra also. So they're voting for people who are delivering. Eknath Shinde of late has really, built up on his image as someone who delivers. We were talking in the last 2 years, he's been telling us how FDI has come back to Maharashtra, what his plans are, all the projects, whether it is the Worli Sea Link or the Atal Setu or the metro, all that had been stalled by the previous government, Uddhav Thackeray, has delivered on that. And he has built up this narrative of governance, which now the BJP is going to find very hard to counter, because it was his face on the posters. I was there in Maharashtra, it was his face along with Devendra Fadnavis in the BJP sections, but very much so as the sitting chief minister, he was the face of the alliance. Now to deny him a chief minister's chair again is going to be a huge balancing act for the BJP. In fact, for the BJP, the real battle is now really, how do they balance everybody? How do they deny Devendra Fadnavis his chance at the seat yet again? How do they leave Eknath Shinde out? Because Devendra Fadnavis can be accommodated elsewhere in Delhi, but Eknath Shinde cannot. So they'll have to figure out how to play that card. Ajit Pawar again, someone who had been written off, has made an astounding comeback. Again, he's not a legacy inheritor. He's someone who's found his own way back. So in that terms, it shows that Congress, of course, has been caught napping. Rahul Gandhi did not campaign very much. It was a deliberate move, we are told, because in Haryana they were saying the loss was because of Rahul Gandhi. He doesn't deliver on the state, so he stayed away, except for that one editorial. Yet that didn't click. So Congress really needs to figure out what it is doing wrong. When it has a strong local leader in terms of Bhupendra Hooda, it fails. When it doesn't have a strong local leader over here, it fails. So, we were talking to KP Singh earlier in the day on NewsX, and he said, well, the score is equal. It's 2-all. NDA bloc has won Jharkhand and JNK, and these guys have won Maharashtra and Haryana. But it is not equal. They're different states. And again, in all these wins, the Congress has played a supporting role. It's the allies who have won those states, if at all. So that is the other message the Congress has to take. It has this bargaining position within the allies just got all that much weaker. It was already pretty weak post Haryana. Has it got even more weaker? And of course, Yogi Adityanath, let's not forget the bipoles of Uttar Pradesh. Before that, we were told after Lok Sabha, Yogi Adityanath may be shunted out. He didn't deliver on the Lok Sabha. Maybe there'll be a change of guard before 2027. Now, that is clearly not going to happen. He has made it clear he was not happy in the Lok Sabha, the way ticket allocation was done. He was kept out of it. This time, these bipoles were all his doing, and he has delivered. So can you afford to ignore Yogi Adityanath? That is another message that is going to come. And last but not least is the hidden player Bhupender Yadav. He was the election in charge in Maharashtra. It's he who has actually, worked hard on this strategy. He didn't even go for that climate UN meeting in Baku. He stayed back, and he was in COP26. He stayed back in Maharashtra. He's been working on ground. He is Amit Shah's trusted aide. Now, this is the time when the BJP is looking for a new party chief. Will Bhupender Yadav be accommodated over there? So a lot of hidden takeaways, apart from, of course, the obvious messaging of the win, that for the BJP is going to be a good walk back into parliament. They were going to be a little bit on the defensive after the Adani revelations, but I think now they've got their mojo back. They're going to be going all guns blazing, and the Congress is going to have a hard time, and the opposition is going to have a hard time trying to corner the government. Vineet.
Thanks, Priya. Thank you for that. And of course, We'll continue to talk about this, but right now, we in fact are learning that Ms. Hemant Soren is addressing the media. We're going to cut across.
आज झारखंड विधानसभा का चुनाव परिणाम घोषित होने का दिन है। सुबह से ही लेकर अभी तक कई लाख मतों का गिनती हो चुका है और कई सारे प्रत्याशियों का भी जो परिणाम है उनको बता दिया गया है और आप सबको मालूम है कि इस राज्य में इंडिया गठबंधन और एनडीए के बीच में ये चुनावी प्रतिस्पर्धा चली और इंडिया गठबंधन का बेहतरीन प्रदर्शन होता दिख रहा है और राज्य की मतदाता को इस राज्य के आधी आबादी को नौजवानों को महिलाओं को पुरुषों को किसानों को मजदूरों को सभी जाति धर्म के लोगों ने जो मतों का उपयोग किया है इसके लिए मैं उनको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और आभार प्रकट करता हूं और लोकतंत्र का इस महापर्व को बहुत ही उत्साहपूर्वक लोगों ने मनाया। विशेषकर हमारे राज्य की आधी आबादी महिला समूह जिन्होंने बढ़ चढ़ करके हिस्सा लिया, लोकतंत्र को मजबूत करने में एक अहम भूमिका निभाई। नौजवानों ने जिन्होंने पहली बार अपना मत डाला होगा उन लोगों ने भी इस लोकतंत्र को मजबूत करने में अपनी भूमिका निभाई और इस प्रतिस्पर्धा में जितने भी लोग चुनावी मैदान में थे उन सभी को भी मैं बहुत बहुत आभार प्रकट करता हूं जिन्होंने लोकतंत्र की ताकत को जन जन तक पहुंचाने का प्रयास किया और पूरा परिणाम आने का हमें इंतजार है और वो परिणाम घोषित होने के बाद हम लोग आगे की कार्रवाई करेंगे। जो हमें जानकारी मिली है आपके तरफ से भी और कई आधिकारिक सूचनाओं के माध्यम से भी जो इंडिया गठबंधन का प्रदर्शन रहा है वो बहुत बेहतर रहा है। लगभग 56 प्रत्याशी हम लोगों के जीते हैं और 24 एनडीए गठबंधन के लोगों ने जीत हासिल की है, जो लगभग 2/3 के बराबर हम लोगों के हिस्से में आता है। कुछ जगहों पर शायद रिकाउंटिंग की खबर आ रही है और कुछ जगहों पर बहुत मार्जिनल वोट में निर्णय होने के आसार दिख रहे हैं। उन सभी सीटों पर भी हम लोगों की नजर है और अब हुआ सरकार का एक इतिहास झारखंड में गढ़ने जा रहा है। आप लोगों ने पहली बार मुझे लगता है ऐसा चुनाव देखा होगा और ऐसे लोकतंत्र की परीक्षा को हम लोगों ने सफलतापूर्वक पास किया और आप सबको भी मेरी ओर से बहुत बहुत आभार, शुक्रिया कि आप सब लोगों ने राज्य की गतिविधियों को देश की जनता और राज्य की जनता तक पहुंचाने का काम किया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। और कुछ बातें कांग्रेस प्रभारी जी साहब की तरफ से भी हम और जो अभी अभी मुझे जानकारी मिली है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी बधाई के संदेश हमें भेजे हैं। मैं उनका भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया अदा करता हूं।
चलिए, आप सबका शुक्रिया। मेरे ख्याल से ऑल ऑफ ए सडन आपको बुलाया गया, फिर भी आप पूरी तादाद में यहाँ उपस्थित हैं। अभी हमारे मुख्यमंत्री और होने वाले मुख्यमंत्री ने आपके सामने सेंट्रल आइडिया रखा। ये चुनाव झारखंड का।
All right, Mr. Hemant Soren, in fact, talking about what factors led to his victory in Jharkhand and what kind of problems he himself faced, and of course blaming the central government and the opposition for all his woes. While all eyes have been on the eccentric Maharashtra elections, the Election Commission is simultaneously announcing the results for bi-poll elections in Uttar Pradesh, Punjab and West Bengal, where 9, 4 and 6 assembly seats were up for grabs. Whether it's the Trinamool Congress in West Bengal, the Bharatiya Janata Party in Uttar Pradesh or the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab, all their supremos have something to celebrate today. In the next few minutes, I'm going to take to you, or rather break down the number game, compare the assembly election results from 2022 to the results of the bi-poll elections to facilitate this understanding as well. I'm going to go to the big screen and talk about what exactly has gone by in these bi-polls and why they are important in the context of the larger scheme of things. And of course, Yogi Adityanath, in fact, in that press conference that he just had a few minutes ago, spoke about the by-elections and how, in fact, Yogi Adityanath himself needed to perform well in the by-polls after the Lok Sabha blow. Of course, it was dismal for Uttar Pradesh, and Yogi Adityanath, somebody who's in fact been very vocal about not being able to perform as well, went on to say that a side battle for UP has taken place in 9 by-polls, and this is an important indicator of where he stands as the Chief Minister and where the BJP also stands. And of course, big question is, will the BJP go for early polls in UP after Haryana, Maharashtra and by polls? That is going to be the big question. This is of course something which is slated for much later. But let's look at what happened in the 2024 Uttar Pradesh by-poll elections as well. The total seats that were up for grabs were 9 at that point in time. In 2024, as you can see, 6 have gone in BJP's favor. They have added 3 more to their tally. The Samajwadi Party has lost 2, put in 2, and of course Yogi Adityanath alluded to this as well. He said in one of the constituencies somebody also lost their deposit. And from Uttar Pradesh by-poll in 2022, it was Lalji Verma. He got 93,524 votes. In 2024, Dharmendra Nishad got 59,206 votes. In 2022, Akhilesh Yadav got about 1.5 lakh votes, and Tej Pratap Singh was somewhere hovering above a tally of 1 lakh votes. Chandan Chauhal got 1,07,421 votes, and Mithilesh Pal secured about 65,776 votes from Mirpur. From Ghaziabad, the same constituency that Yogi Adityanath spoke about today as well, Atul Garg got 1,50,000 votes for the BJP in 2022, and Sanjeev Sharma got a little lesser, say about 90,000 for the same constituency. Why Arvind Kejriwal won big today is also another reason that needs to be understood and needs to be in fact deciphered. They have won in 2 seats and are leading in 1 seat in a 4-seat by-poll election is what the latest news is at this point in time. And this is of course Punjab by-poll. In 2022, the Aam Aadmi Party got 1. In 2024, it has changed. In fact, they have gotten 2 more in Punjab, which is of course hearty for the Aam Aadmi Party. The Congress Party also, in fact, with 1 more vote there in Punjab in the by-polls. In 2024, as we can see, it's Gurdeep Singh Randhawa who got about 59,000 votes. And in Dera Baba Nanak, an important constituency, the BJP has lost by a big margin. In 2024 by-poll, Punjab poll, the Gidarba constituency is also extremely important. Ranjit Kumar lost, only got about 23,000 votes for the Congress Party, and Dr. Ishank Kumar got 51,000 votes for the Aam Aadmi Party. So these are the gains that we are talking about when it comes to the Aam Aadmi Party. Hardeep Singh Dimpy Dhillon with 71,000 votes, and the Congress Party a loser again with Amrita Waring at about 50,000 votes. And big day for Mamata Banerjee as well. The TMC has won in 5 seats and is leading in 1 seat in a 6-seat by-poll election. Is what we are going to discuss in the next few minutes. And in 2021, the BJP got 1 by-poll in its favor, the TMC got 5, and in 2024, of course, the BJP has lost 1, and that perhaps has gone to the TMC in 2024. So a victory again for Mamata Banerjee, and of course a setback for the BJP, who've been trying to woo the Bengal vote for a very long time. Sangeeta Roy has won this with a margin of 1,30,000, and in fact Deepak Kumar Ray from the BJP has lost this with only 35,384 votes. So of course a gain for the TMC. Jayaprakash Topo with 79,000 votes, and Rahul Lohar of the Bharatiya Janata Party losing this from the Madarihat constituency with 51,000 votes. Sanat De of the TMC getting about 78,000 votes in comparison to Rupak Mitra with around 30,000 votes in Nehati, where of course the Bharatiya Janata Party has lost in the by-polls. Another important constituency, of course, is Mednipur, in the news in the last few months for all the wrong reasons. Sujoy Hazara with 11,000 votes is of course the victor there, and Falguni Singh Babu with 98,000 votes, and BJP losing by 64,000 votes, and Ananya Roy Chakrabarti was the contender from Taldangra. And in fact, I'm going to go across to my guest at this point in time. Mr. Chandra, how do you look at these by-polls? And of course, the Bharatiya Janata Party, like I just said, the last slide that we discussed, has been trying to, from toe to tie, trying to make or break through in West Bengal, but the TMC just keeps coming back. And even in Punjab, Aam Aadmi Party doing well there. These by-polls obviously in favor of these opposition contenders at this point in time, but in UP, Bharatiya Janata Party displaying a lot of gusto and of course a lot of promise, and once again it can be attributed to brand Modi.
See, Viniji, you made a very valid point. See, historically what has happened is this, that in by-polls, normally the ruling party of the day, it manages to get the seats, number one. Number two, what is very, very important for BJP is, virtually sweeping the by-polls in Uttar Pradesh, because it had not done very well in the Lok Sabha polls. This has also stamped the authority of Yogi Adityanath as a vote getter, and his slogan went down very well. It made the right logic, right reason, and at the right time, batenge to katenge, which is very true. And also what has happened in Punjab, you see, because BJP has not been on a very good wicket, Congress, sitting Congress MLA accused the Congress of not bringing the culprits of the Sikh genocide in Delhi to book. That also, has played out. And like I told you, that there is a little pro Aam Aadmi Party support out there. But this same thing will have no bearings in Delhi. In Delhi, you will find that Aam Aadmi Party is going to be routed. And also, let me tell you that, this Congress thing that, Mr. Modi didn't campaign too much in Maharashtra or in Jharkhand. Let me tell you, each vote today for BJP is also a vote for Mr. Modi's leadership as a Prime Minister. And let me tell you that Congress has lost the plot. This, panning to the sentiments of, doing, pro-minority politics at the cost of the majority community has not gone down well. And in Maharashtra, it is also a vote for continuing Eknath Shinde as a CM, because he, all the schemes which he brought in will continue in a seamless manner. And also, within the alliance, his party has got the second highest number of MLAs, and I think BJP will do well in continuing him. So what has happened is in West Bengal today, let me tell you that Mamata Banerjee is depending only on the Muslim vote to gain seats. If Muslims don't vote for her, she'll be out of the office in a minute. So fact of the matter is this, that in all these states, some local issues have played out, and in Punjab, you will find BJP will do course correction like it did in Haryana. In Jharkhand, the Honorable Prime Minister has been magnanimous. He has congratulated, Mr. Hemant Soren, and has thanked people for their support. In the takeaway from this is basically UP, which was very important for Mr. Yogi Adityanath's political future, and because candidates in Lok Sabha polls were not to his liking, and he had personally selected candidates and it had assured the BJP at the center that he will deliver, and he has delivered.
All right, Sumit Peer, senior political commentator, also joins us. Sumit, your overall impression of what's transpired today. Of course, we were talking about the by-polls, which have, of course, been, in diverse favors of regional parties as well as the Bharatiya Janata Party in Uttar Pradesh. But obviously, Maharashtra, a reassertion of what the Bharatiya Janata Party did right. The RSS was on the ground. What I'm told is that they had about 70,000 meetings between, or after the Lok Sabha elections, till the run-up to these polls. They did not want to leave anything to chance, and all the groundwork could be talked about, could be seen in the local vernaculars as well. But what about the opposition? Do you think that the response from them after their improved tally in the Lok Sabha election was met with a lackluster attitude towards taking on the Bharatiya Janata Party? It's not going to happen on its own. It's not going to happen organically or naturally. You'll have to break some eggs.
Vinny, thank you for having me on your show. If you look at the opposition, the problem with the opposition is when something happens by fluke, they consider it as their grand strategy, grand plan, and it all worked in their favor. The problem is when you look yourself into the mirror and start lying to yourself. That is the syndrome opposition is failing, kind of facing with today. Look, Uddhav Bhau fighting for his existence, Sharad Pawar ji fighting for his existence, and Rahul Gandhi winning or losing doesn't matter. Fark hi nahi padta. Anything can happen. It's okay with him. So when you have these three people, look, we know what happened in Lok Sabha. If I can be candid here, Muslims did not vote for BJP. That was expected. It did not happen. BJP did the course correction. 5-6 mahine ho gaye, they did the course correction. There are party who acts like this. They did the course correction. Then batoge to katoge. साथ रहोगे तो सही रहोगे. This is a very, very clear clarion call, and the message was amply clear. People resonated on the ground, and when it is about Devendra Fadnavis ji, brilliant leader. Shinde ji could do what I thought was impossible. After yesterday we were contemplating, can Shinde ji really become the Uttaradhikari of Balasaheb Thackeray, or it would be Uddhav Bhau? But today it is established Shinde ji is the real Uttaradhikari of Balasaheb Thackeray ji, not Uddhav ji. So that is clear. Now, if you look at NCP versus NCP, now unfortunately, Mr. Sharad Pawar is 83. Next election he'll be 88. And with his health problems, he should have called it a day and let Ajit Pawar on the show. He was again adamant to build some kind of a fortune for Supriya Sule. With all these three people who are trying to either survive or trying to build something for the next generation, and here you have a government which is run by Devendra Fadnavis, Shindeji, and Sharad and Mr. Pawar Jr. They promised something on the ground, they delivered something on the ground, and I believe consolidation of Hindu vote is hampered. Last time, unfortunately, that 6.5% Hindu vote which went haywire, and that is where we had losses. Now that consolidation happened, that Yogi ji's campaign was brilliant. Prime Minister Modi did 8 or 9 rallies, and then Prime Minister Modi was very clear. साथ रहोगे तो सही रहोगे भाई, क्या मतलब है इसका? बटोगे तो कटोगे का स्टानियम ही है ये. It was a very clear message. People got it, and I'm still telling you, if anything comes from Yogi ji, Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, and all the top leaders of Bhajpa, it is caught like this. This time RSS was very active. RSS put all the heart and soul into it. Look, Haryana mein Vineet ji, RSS touched every household twice. Here again RSS dude, it's a strong background of RSS. Now the challenge with the people were, they were all living in the La La land. They thought whatever happened last time by fluke will happen this time again. There's some brilliant strategy will work. Rahul Gandhi, some jadoo will work. And Rahul Gandhi ji, you tried to divide Hindu society on caste. You try to do caste census, you try to jat kitne tarah ke, Brahman 25 tarah ke, or what you call Baniya 17 tarah ke. You tried your level best to do that. But unfortunately, the Hindu Samaj has given you back in the language which you understand. Now don't try to divide Hindus in the name of caste census and all. It does not happen. It doesn't work. And that Mohabbat ki dukaan and whatever, that even that has dwindled like the monsoon rains. There's no longer Mohabbat ki dukaan. The reality is that Indian has to wake up, smell coffee. We need development, but we need also dharma with it. We cannot compromise dharma for development. This is not going to happen. If development is required, we need dharma is equally important. And we know what is happening in Bangladesh. We know what is happening in Pakistan. We are looking at Israel. We are looking at various countries in the world. We don't want to be another one in making. So the message is very clear and loud. And Maharashtra mattered the most. Look at UP. I mean, 7 out of 9 and one seat in which there is only, I can't remember the name, there's only one Hindu candidate. All other candidates are Muslim. All other candidates are Muslim. 10-15 Musliman hai. And still the BJP's candidate wins by 1 lakh votes. Now, if you don't call it magic of Yogi Adityanath, what else will you call it? So, I mean, let's call spade a spade. This is what the elections tell. Hindu consolidation happened in Haryana, it paved the way. Wherever Hindu consolidation will happen, nobody can stop BJP. But if the Hindu consolidation doesn't happen, then there is a problem, because then the caste erupts, then the vested interest erupt, then those divisions allow, then that Palestine treaty erupts.
Okay, I want Priya Sehgal to come in on this. Priya, do you think that this Hindu consolidation did happen, and it happened as a result, as a repercussion of the smart and the timing sloganeering on behalf of the BJP?
Well, the sloganeering was meant for consolidation, and I'm not sure how the voters have voted in terms of whether the consolidation happened or not. But the Congress and the other alliance partners did not fall into the BJP's trap. Like, nobody talked Ayodhya. It was only the BJP talking "ek hai to safe hai, katenge to batenge." The other side did not get into the politics of religion. They wanted to make this caste issue. Consolidation may have happened because of that. Like, don't get divided on caste lines, don't get divided on on Maratha vote bank lines. Perhaps, I mean, I'm not sure what happened, but in the end of the day, it is, I would say, local issues and local leadership and who can deliver it best that really happened. In terms of governance, Eknath Shinde did prove his mettle, and he spoke about the various schemes they had implemented. The Ladli Behna worked as it did in Madhya Pradesh. It worked over here also. There was a smart in terms of ticket distribution, in terms of coordinating with the allies. Bhupendra Yadav's role should, again, I'm reiterating that. So a lot happened on ground in terms of smart election management. Sloganeering, yes, Prime Minister did 9 rallies and gave the narrative setting slogan. How much it impacted on the ground, I don't know, because even Ajit Pawar was pretty uncomfortable with the Katenge to Batenge slogan, if you recall, and he has done pretty well. He's distanced himself totally from that slogan. So I'm not quite sure what really worked. I think I would rather like to see it as a governance model, leadership model, administrative, which party can deliver more. Those are the issues, local issues, rather than this, the I would say, divisive narrative setting that happens during election time. I would disagree with Sumit, that didn't happen from either side, Congress or the BJP. In that sense, it was a very healthy, hygienic election, in the terms of the issues on ground that worked.
All right. Great points, Priya. My colleague have also, in fact, interacted with Union Minister Piyush Goyal after the results came out. Listen it.
सर, मुख्यमंत्री चेहरा कौन होगा? मुख्यमंत्री चेहरा अगर मुख्यमंत्री चेहरे की बात की जाए तो कौन हो सकता है? सर, सीएम चेहरा कौन हो सकता है? तो ये हमारे साथ पीयूष गोयल थे, जिन्होंने बताया कि क्या कुछ कारण रहे इस बड़ी विजय के। कैमरा पर्सन हिमांशु के साथ मैं मेहदी।
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.